So here I am, me too, doing a video on Michael Jackson, and obviously a lot about his death that's already been said. I can't really add to, you know, like everyone else, I was in a bit of disbelief, but at the same time he was just a human being, be it that he was a human being that touched many people's lives and was looked at as quite iconic, especially within the entertainment and music industry. And it also drove me to buy this film, which was a big part of my childhood, Moonwalker. I saw this for a good price. Obviously everyone's selling Michael Jackson stuff like hotcakes in shops now, and I saw this on DVD. I thought, shit me, I didn't realise that was on DVD. So I just bought it instantly because it was a classic film from my childhood, and I thought I'd watch it again. And watching it again, now knowing that he's died, is quite a strange experience. In my head it is, anyway. There's a few things I wanted to touch upon. I'm kind of like gonna just talk about it bit by bit. Anyone that knows what this film is, it's basically just one long collage of music videos and clips with bits of short film and short story, and I think a lot of it is him dealing with his fame at that point, especially the bit after the Man in the Mirror performance, or during the Man in the Mirror performance. There's like stuff like girls fainting and that during it, and yeah, that must be strange, and I don't know, odd to watch. You hardly get anyone like that these days that causes reactions. Or maybe I just don't, I'm not that in the know because I'm in my late 20s. Oh well. But yeah. And then it goes into a collage of his old hits with Jackson 5 and video footage leading up to Bad when this was released. And it's really bizarre seeing him as a little kid belting out those songs like in such a sexually charged manner. It's really bizarre, and it's quite saddening to, like, when you know about the stories of how his life was at that time, apart from when he was off stage, like basically being forced to do it right by his dad with a whip and stuff. And that kind of set the tone for his life and what his became, and it's sad knowing that, but nonetheless you can't take away from those amazing tunes, because they are fucking awesome. So those Jackson 5 tunes, and him growing up to be what he became is strange, you know. And then there's like the Bad video, but with little kids doing routines instead. And it's really amazing and talented, but on another hand, it's strange seeing that when you think about Michael Jackson's own upbringing in the entertainment industry, because a lot of those kids probably started when they were young and were probably forced to go into dancing and show tunes to get on this on this Moonwalker film. And yeah, it's a bit bizarre thinking about it. And then the kid Michael Jackson's walking out with his entourage, and he asks what is Bubbles wearing, and they say, oh, he's wearing a Prince t-shirt. Prince t-shirt? What? So that's like a kind of subtle joke there, subtle dig, seeing as like a lot of people saw Prince as on his level and was kind of near his level of fame in the 80s, but probably wasn't really, but was one of his peers, if you know what I mean. It goes into the parts leading up to Speed Demon. He's running away from some claymation puppets, media frenzy, paparazzi thing, and I remember that really well as a kid. It was good stuff, very entertaining, and good to see it again. And that Speed Demon song's really cool. And the dance with the rabbit guy was quite fun to watch once again, I have to say. And then there's the Leave It Alone video, and that was like my favourite off this. That was my favourite off this film. It was just like a whole collage of animation and clips and dogs in suits and press cuttings. And it reminds me of something of the Beatles, off of like Magical Mystery Tour or a Yellow Submarine, that kind of animation. And it was really good. The weird thing I saw was one of the articles, like Michael frozen for 50 years. I misread that when I first saw it. It said Michael Jackson frozen at 50. I just thought, huh, what the fuck? Did he plan this? Did he plan his own death or something? But yeah, I obviously misread it. But even so, strange to see. And in this video, it has his kind of body lying down, but like there's like a theme park revolving around it, and I find that it's just so bizarre watching something like that. You just wonder if this is going to happen, or if he thought of this. And this is probably another thing of him dealing with his fame, the song Leave Me Alone, about the press being after him and just putting all these rumours out about him. And yeah, I think it's quite an interesting music video and pretty great. And from there, it goes into like the short story of a Smooth Criminal. And the Smooth Criminal bit is quite weird. It's not very well cohesive or put together. It opens up with Michael Jackson being shot at by this Joe Pesci and his gang, like, him playing a drug overlord and his gang of machine guns. And then it goes to some kind of dreamlike sequence of Michael Jackson playing with ball with the three kids, and the little girl Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? They go to a little lair. There's all these tarantulas, and they basically see this drug overlord thing, and it goes back to the little girl screaming and Michael Jackson being shot at, and Jacko's on the run, and all the kids. One of those kids is Sean Lennon, actually, John Lennon's son. And yeah, he came on to be a real good. I liked his album back in the late 90s. He's quite an overlooked guy. And yeah, the kids all like go to this place, and Jacko's running there too, and that's the place where the Smooth Criminal music video happens. You know, the famous one with that brilliant dance where they're leaning and all that. And you used to think, oh, is there nails in their shoes or whatever? But it is amazing. It is amazing. And it all goes through, and then like, there's this kind of ending sequence in the Smooth Criminal bit. Right, obviously this is the main kind of gist of the main story bit of the film of Moonwalker. And Michael Jackson, they basically get shot at, and Joe Pesci is this drug overlord, has this syringe, and he's like about to put it in the little kid, Annie, and it is so fucking creepy watching that. It's ugh, God, it's horrible, you know. You wouldn't be able to get away with that in a film, in a PG film these days. It's bizarre. Yeah, Michael Jackson kind of gets shot, then he turns into this massive transformer, and it's amazing special effects. Really good, really up there with Transformers today. And he kind of explodes, and then the little kids are like mourning the death of Michael Jackson. So bizarre to watch. It's freaky, thinking about how recently he's died and watching this film again. It's so bizarre. They're like mourning the death of him, pretty much. Like, he's not coming back. And then all of a sudden he walks on back. And it's so weird. And then they walk on through, and then it's the end of the film, basically. Like, a performance of Come Together and stuff. But yeah, it's just, parts of this film are really bizarre to watch since him dying. And you could like really draw into a lot of it. But it's an interesting collage of music and story, and I'd like to see a pop star try something like this these days. Anyway, that's me out. Bye.